Hey, what's going on, Rebels? This is Agent Clive with the winter gear on.
It's your girl, Black Money Babe, reporting for duty.
We got that warm, cozy weather going on. It's raining and very windy today. And, well, it's time for those cozy talks. As you might have not have known, Dr. Umar said some serious shit. But when has Umar not said some
I
serious
know,
shit?
right?
It's Umar. I mean, he's become a Twitter meme.
He is.
Like, for real, for real.
Oh
He's
my
become a
gosh.
Twitter meme to the umpteenth degree.
For the black community, if y'all don't know who he is, you're about to find out.
Like, anytime he sees a person post something with a white girl or a white man and it's a black person or black woman or whatever, you know, the interracial dating. What's Umar saying? We must stay strong, brothers. We must stay strong.
Or if you see the memes where he's just looking in the camera, looking like, oh my gosh. Y'all have to take a gander over to Twitter, even Instagram, type in hashtag Umar Johnson. You'll know what I'm talking about. So we are going to get started watching. He recently came on the Breakfast Club, I believe, yesterday.
Well, it was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, like this is really fresh, like really recent.
I ain't watched it at all.
Yeah, so we're going to get into it. It's a pretty long interview. It's about an hour long.
And fair use. I've seen people say that on YouTube when they like play videos of other bigger name things. You disappeared, Bonnie.
Where did I go?
Are you coming back?
I don't know.
I
Oh,
think
shit.
they got her.
What
Did
the
they get
fuck?
her?
Well, here I am, y'all. I don't know what happened.
That might be a bit of a problem, eh? We'll keep watching that.
All
But
right.
as long as your audio stays good.
Yeah. Hopefully, I'll stay throughout the whole video. We'll see.
Technical difficulties. And without further ado, let's get on with it.
All right.
While we have a chance.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Charlemagne
Hear
the
good.
Guy.
I
We
don't want to
are
come
the
to the
Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
King Kong Consciousness is back.
Dr. Umar Johnson, welcome.
Peace and Pan-Africanism. Brothers, glad to be back.
Glad to have you, man. First of all, you look slim, brother. You done slim down a little bit, huh?
Yes, sir. I think I have. I didn't do nothing intentional, so let me not sit here and lie.
Okay.
I guess it's just, getting older and wiser, I hope.
And first things first, man, congrats on the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. I've been paying attention. I
Yes.
see.
He actually built the school. Did he build the school?
Last time I heard he had not, so I don't know if this is an update. So I guess we're gonna find out because I have no idea.
That
Sir.
you
Yes,
got
sir.
the building.
Yes, sir.
You've been doing renovations on the building. I
Yes,
saw you put
sir.
the HVAC in, all
Yes,
kind of other
sir.
stuff.
We're just about done.
Okay, some progress.
Electric is awaiting a permit.
I honestly stopped following. That's why.
I did too. It's been so long. It's literally been over 10 years now. So it's like I'm not following it anymore.
Has it been that long?
Yeah. Probably closer to 15 actually.
System is done. I'm hoping by the end of the calendar year we can get our inspection and have a grand opening in February, hopefully.
And you got to get accreditation too, or?
Nah, well, your accreditation comes from the state.
Got you.
So it's the state that gives you the license to operate. If you want accreditation beyond that, you can seek out professional accreditation bureaus, but that's not legally required.
Man, why don't you talk about that more, Dr. Umar, especially being that they tried to clown you for so long about,
I mean, they've
not
been
I
having
don't
the
mind
school.
that
and-
because
Cool minute.
if you know
A long time.
that your mission is genuine, it's no need to respond to the negativity because at some day, the fruit of your works will manifest.
Ooh.
You follow?
Yeah,
So
speak for
my
theyself,
thing
yeah.
is, why argue when you know one day they're going to see the school?
Now, talk about the process, because it was a long process.
was a very
and there
long
was
process.
Trials and tribulations
Yes, sir.
and hurdles. So
Yes, sir.
talk about that a little bit and what you had to get through, and also getting funding.
Yes, sir. We took our first donation in St. Louis 2014. We heard about the St. Paul's College, which was an HBCU closed in Virginia. They wanted $2 million, so we tried to raise it as quickly as we can. That was a bit ambitious. We didn't succeed. It was sold to an Asian company.
$2 million.
Unfortunately, an HBCU sold to another race. I think is a great disappointment for us as a people. So then we just started looking for a day school. So I went to Chicago, Detroit, Florida, Ohio, all over the country. I was just flying looking for a school. And then in 2017, I was on LoopNet, which was my main source of new property, and I saw this campus in Wilmington, Delaware that I had heard about but never had a chance to see. So I'm on my way to Nat Turner celebration, August 21st,
When that
2017.
family-
The
I
great
got to pause it here. That whole Nat Turner thing, like the family even spoke out, and I got nothing against his brother. He's doing a whole lot more than hopefully we can start doing some more for this community too. But that was a whole debacle. I don't think he's part of that clan at all.
What happened? Because I wasn't following.
So in short, the people, the descendants of Nat Turner and all that, were basically saying this man is not related to us in family, form or fashion of any sort. But he was going wrong, claiming this. And it's like, no, don't.
Who was?
Umar.
He was saying he was part of Dr.
No. So let me rewind it back for you.
Okay.
So right here, listen to what
Florida, Ohio, all over the country. I was just flying looking for a school. And then in 2017, I was on LoopNet, which was my main source of new property, and I saw this campus in Wilmington, Delaware that I had heard about but never had a chance to see. So I'm on my way to Nat Turner celebration.
Nat Turner. He was all. I might actually be mistaken. Hold on. It's either he was saying that he's part of Nat Turner's family or he's part of Frederick Douglass's family's lineage. One of these lineages, and the family spoke up and said, no. Nigga, what are you talking about? You're not part of this family. What are you talking about?
They said no relation.
Tell you what, I'll put a sub clip in this video of that. I'll splice it about now. But let's get back to the video.
August 21st, 2017, the Great North American Eclipse. I stopped, I saw the campus, I said, this looks pretty nice. When I got back from Nat Turner, I had to go to Cuba first to get my Ifa initiation. I practiced Yoruba spirituality. Came back from Cuba, and I got a chance to go into the school, and I saw it. I said, we want this school, but they wanted $2 million. We couldn't afford that. We only had $500,000. So I negotiated with them from August of 17 until February of 19, and they finally decided to sell us the building for the money that we had.
Wow.
So now we got the building.
Okay, that's a good
So
W.
what's been going on the past 3.5 years? Getting contractors who you
got
can
something
trust
for
to help you
1.5
with
less.
it. And contractors were not kind to us,
million
man.
less
They ripped us off. They scammed us. They
Con.
stole out the building. The con is real. The con and contractor
I've been dealing with it for the last 5 years.
is very real, brother.
Absolutely.
And then finally, we had our second FDMG festival this past September the 10th. And I said, you know what? We may have to step outside the African-American community to get this done because we've been waiting 3 years for our people to help us. Not for free. We could afford to pay them, but they wasn't being honest with us and straight up. And, of course, we know that's not all of our contractors. We want to be clear. We've met a lot of decent contractors along the way. But the ones who we had to use because they was licensed and certified where we are, they didn't really do us right. So I said, let's go with some white folks. And guess what? Here we are 90 days later. And the white contractors have gotten us to the finish line in 3 months versus 3 years.
Now, see, you was telling me something about that in Ghana where people try to get buildings done and then they just play you like that. So you want to speak a bit about that because that is one of your goals is to build over there. But then you have to deal with this type of issue.
So
and it be your own people.
I don't know if this is a black thing. I'm not even going to lie to you because I see it a lot. Like, we do it to ourselves the most because I feel like we're the only ones who we know we can get away with it because it's each other. You feel me? Like, the same way, like, you can kind of fuck over your family a little bit because they're your family because, you know, they can do something, but they're not going to, like, do it to the extent of a stranger, you know? Like, so I feel like that's the kind of level of, like, of where we operate because, yeah, that is a very common thing. You say, like, hey, can you build this for me? I'm paying you. I need it to look like this. I need these conditions, these specifications, blah, blah, blah. Come around. You come and you find out, and they're using the cheap material. They're not doing it correctly. They're not checking. They're not making sure that they're not making sure that it's even safe. And then you have to literally, like, all your money is down the drain because they didn't want to do it the correct way. And it's like, we're paying you anyway. It's not like, this is not a volunteer job. Like, you're getting paid, so just do your job correctly. And so I think that's probably what he's dealing with. That's one thing that as an African or in the African diaspora, like, we have to tighten up on that. Tighten up, for real.
There you have it. He said he went to white folks and they got it done in 90 days.
Literally.
Goddamn.
Waiting on our own people.
Like
So what does that say?
And I just want to add, sometimes it's usually the strangers that end up helping you the most. And you don't even really know. It's like, but you know what my agenda is? Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. They're like, I don't care. I just need my payment.
And you want to help?
Like, are you paying? Is your cash still green? Is it still valid? Still work? All right, that's
okay.
fine.
Okay. Sign here, please.
Exactly.
Say,
That's all
It says that we need the Frederick
that's one
Douglass
thing
and
that we
Marcus
have
Garvey
to
account.
adopt. We got to adopt that type of, work ethic as a community.
It says that black boys have to be raised and trained in how to be black men and how to be committed to the black community, because I think as a community we've lost our integrity, our honor, our loyalty, and our commitment. If I was who I am for black people, for the Mexican American community, that school would have been done 3 years ago. If I was who I am to the Asian community, the Anglo-Saxon community, the Native American community, that school gets done the first year we purchased it. We're not sitting here 3.5 years after purchase, just now getting to the finish line and needing white people to get us there.
And what is the curriculum going to look like?
In addition to your required math, science, language, and social studies, we're going to have financial and economic science, critical, how to do your own taxes, real estate, international investments, business planning. Because as we've talked about before, going to college is not automatically a recipe for success, but it is automatically a recipe for death.
With a fucking master's degree.
I stopped at bachelor's. I'm just like, nah, this shit, this ain't it, mate.
I mean, again, I wouldn't have done my master's if it wasn't a 1-year program. I mean, it was a 2-year program, but I condensed it into one because I was like, I'm not staying longer, bitch. I gotta get the fuck out.
You know what they say about PhDs?
Ooh.
You know what they say?
What?
Pile higher and deeper.
Ooh.
Debt.
Yeah, because that's exactly what it is. I had to stop. Do you know how much? I'm in 6 figures worth of debt for my master's. So I was like,
you could have had a house.
I literally could have. I at least paid half of it off by now or something.
It's a touchy subject. Let's move on.
So for those young men who want to go to college, we want to give them that ability to do that, but we also want to give them other means of making an economic impact and survival plan for their lives. So we got financial and economic. We have dietary and nutritional, how to eat to live. A lot of your Dr. Sabi type of information. Dr. Laila Africa, rest in peace to both of them. That will be in.
What he's doing is what I want to do in Ghana. What he's
saying to the mic.
What he's doing with the school, that's exactly what I want to do in my own country.
She's from Latino Africa.
Latino Africa. Oh man.
Hey, look, I could have said District 9.
What is District 9?
They're agricultural and agronomical. We're going to
What's District 9?
teach them how to grow. They have to grow their own food in order to graduate. We have to become agriculturally self-sufficient. In addition to that, spiritual and astrological science, I want our young men to understand how African people related to God before Abraham, before Jesus, before Muhammad. Those religions, and all due respect to all of them, they're only.
What the hell are we doing before
Christianity is 2,000 years old. Islam is 1,500 years old. Judaism is about 4,000 or 5,000 years old. But traditional African culture and spirituality is more than 250,000 years old. We dealt with God far longer from a non-Abrahamic tradition than we have from an Abrahamic tradition. Nothing's wrong with those. But I want our children to understand how we deal with the ancestors, how we deal with the earth and the land. And so we're going to have that. There will also be science of the black family. So that includes science of the black man, the black woman, the black child, how to be a gentleman, how to take care of your woman, how to raise your children, how to be a leader in the community. And of course, there will be military and political science, if I didn't mention that. We do want to teach them survival skills, traditional African martial arts, both with and without weapons, understanding the world that we live in. Why is Africa the richest continent, but in the poorest condition? Why was Barack Obama made president, and it had nothing to do with America reinventing herself? Okay, why has multiculturalism been used as a weapon against African people? So we want to make sure that we are graduating well-rounded young men who can go anywhere in the world and build independent communities. We are a nation-building academy. We are not college prep. We are not military prep. We are not trade school prep. They will be ready for any of those. But above all that, we are nation-building.
Jack of all trades? Secret weapons?
The full quote of that is, jack of all trades, master of none. Rather be a master of none than a master of one.
It's better than.
Is that what it is?
I think
I flubbed it.
Hold on. I think it's jack of all trades is a master of none, but still better than the master of one. I think that's the quote.
Do it again. I'm gonna type it in and see.
Okay. Jack of all trades,
Mm-hmm.
master of none, but
Mhm.
still better than the master of one.
Okay. So the results are in. In the case of the quote of Jack of all trades, you, Bonnie, are correct.
Okay.
You see how to do that? You see how to do it, like just like the TV show. Yep, yep, yep. But today's latest iteration is saying this right here. See, Jack of all trades, master of none is a figure of speech in reference. People dabble in many skills rather than gaining expertise by focusing only on one.
Right.
So the reason why she said that is because I'm a generalist. I believe most humans were born as polymaths, meaning they can be molded into whatever need to be and kind of adapt to whatever environment or situation that calls for it. Prime example, I know I'm getting a bit off topic, just a little bit. The clownfish. You heard about this? No? Remember the Finding Nemo fish, the orange with the stripe?
Oh, isn't that the one where it can change genders if it need be?
I'm not saying I'm changing my gender. Fuck no, not far from it. But what I'm saying is they know how to assimilate their population to fit the needs of what needs to go on. And I'm saying if you're a generalist, it's like, okay, well we need about 12 engineers. Okay, well take those 12 over there, and when they're done, they can go back to being warriors or medics
Or whatever they were beforehand.
And then now they got that skill of engineering to help assist their warrior training or their medical training.
Right.
So, thank you for listening to my TED Talk. There are no donuts today. Sorry.
There's fruits though.
There's fruit. Quite good with tahini.
The tahini, right? I just put them on the tahini. On fruits today.
Seriously, she put it on. I was like, what the fuck? Apples with tahini.
Oh my gosh! If you get Honey Crisp or the Granny Smith with tahini, y'all, thank me later. Thank me later.
Yeah, we're getting off topic. My bad. That was me. I'm not blaming her. That was me. But yeah, tahini on apples. Never would have seen it coming.
You answer that President Obama question? I'd like to know the answer to that.
Oh, Barack Obama was made president for two reasons. Domestically, he was made president to force alternative sexual lifestyles onto black children, sexual confusion as a means of population control. And internationally, he was made president to go to Africa and to force AFRICOM there, to build military bases all throughout the continent. And guess what? There's been about 6 coups in Africa over the past year, and every single coup was in a...
Gaddafi. Because I remember I was actually living in Ghana when that happened, and everyone in Ghana was furious.
Well, yeah, he's creating his own bank.
Yeah.
He's going to challenge everything.
Exactly.
It was based off of the actual hard commodities of Africa.
Because the world knows that if we were to actually base our currency on our resources, nobody can compete.
Wakanda forever.
Literally, nobody can compete. Because, come on, that's where you get all your shit. If we're the ones who have all the shit, we're telling you, okay, we're based on, we have the gold standard. What do you guys have? You ain't got no gold.
Not anymore.
The gold that you guys have is from us. If we want to take that shit back, what do you have? Exactly.
It glitched a bit. You're
it
right.
did.
You're
Okay.
Right. You're all right.
But
you're all right.
Don't worry. We'll edit it in post. But anyway.
You can't see it just yet. Just have to wait.
Right.
Make sure you hit that like, comment, and subscribe button while you're at it.
Right, y'all. Please. It's free. If you're enjoying this content, if you got here, to this point of the video. Again, I know we are literally only 8 minutes into an hour-long video. Okay, let's just keep going because we keep stopping. Let's just watch the video.
I'm not even going to follow up on the military AFRICOM part. You guys can look that up.
But yeah, just know that when Gaddafi died and they basically destabilized Libya, and now there's actual slavery occurring there again, just know who was behind it.
Country with a United States military base. No coincidence. America only practices democracy when the person who wins the election has an agenda that is in the interest of America. Charlemagne, you can be elected president, but if your agenda is not in the interest of the white power structure, you will be overthrown. Democracy only lasts as long as the person winning the election is favorable to the agenda of the power structure.
Well, I think you see that all the time, especially with the GOP. You saw that in Georgia, right? They didn't care if Herschel Walker was a terrible candidate. They knew that if he got into the Senate, he was going to do the bidding of the GOP.
Who won the runoff?
Warnock.
Warnock won.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Here's what I'm going to say to that. And my maternal ancestry is from Georgia. It didn't make a difference if Warnock won. It didn't make a difference if Herschel Walker won. because both of them are candidates who are aligned with two white racist political parties. The Democratic Party don't care about black people. The Republican Party don't care about black people. Raphael Warnock hasn't done nothing his first term. He's not going to do nothing his second term. And if Herschel Walker would have won, it would have been the same thing. One of the things we have to do as black people, we have to get off this Republican-Democratic political dichotomy because it does not serve us and it wasn't created for our interests. That is a white intellectual conversation, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. Our dichotomy is not democracy or republicanism. Our dichotomy is freedom or oppression. That's the black dichotomy. Who belongs to the Freedom Party? Who belongs to the House Negro Party? That's it. Look at the Congressional Black Caucus. 59 African Americans, and more than half of them are old enough to be your grandparents. Why do we have people in the CBC in their 70s, in their 80s? In their 60s. Don't get me wrong. In African culture, we believe an old man for counsel and a young man for war. But look who we got in D.C. fighting for justice for African people. They're senior citizens. And we wonder why nothing's getting done because they don't want to pass the baton. And this is an issue that we have had in the black community for a long time. Not just Congressional Black Caucus, Black Church, Black Community Organization, where we don't want to pass the baton to the next generation. And why not? Black men and women are seldom given an opportunity to experience real power. So when we get a taste of real power, we don't like to give it up because we're not used to it. That's why you got 100-year-old pastors running churches when you got 20 and 30-year-old young pastors in the same congregation who will never get a chance to give a sermon. That's why you see so many old leaders in black organizations because they don't want to pass the baton because the old black man's ego is bigger and stronger than the young black man's ego.
And I want to go back to something you said about Obama. You know Obama was opposed to same-sex marriage.
Damn.
See, he's spitting nothing but facts this entire interview. We're literally only 10 minutes in. We're only 10 minutes in.
In 08.
Oh, when he ran.
Yeah.
But the power structure told him you're going to support this when you get in there.
That was the second term.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Because the agenda had not yet been set, but when the agenda was set, he had to carry it out because Obama belonged to a white racist political party.
Let me ask you a question. The students that want to attend your school.
Yes, sir.
Is there
Thank you.
Is there anything? What are the qualifications, if there are any?
Be black. There's really no qualifications.
So be black. So it doesn't matter if you're gay or straight. It doesn't matter if you're mixed or anything. You can.
Well, a mixed African, for those of us who are revolutionary Pan-African nationalists, Garveyites, a mixed African is considered an African. I do not discriminate between a black man with a white.
Problem. Everything came out of Africa, so that means whites can go there too?
This is where I have a concept that I low-key want to introduce to the world.
You want to do it now?
Yeah, because I feel
She has the floor.
I feel like everybody should just like, I know in America the one drop rule was like if you got a drop of black in you, you're black, right? In Africa we don't look at that shit that way. If you're black because I can see visibly you're black. If I cannot tell that you're black, to me, you're not black. I don't care what your parents look like. It doesn't matter. You can be black adjacent, which I want people to understand. You can be black adjacent. That is fine. Your parents can be black and you would not be. Your grandparents can be black. You particularly are not. Black adjacent is a thing, okay? Make black adjacent a thing. Not everyone is black, just like not everyone is whatever else race there is. Like, I think black people, you need to set boundaries. Like, that's a boundary you have to set. Don't let these outsiders come and tell you who you are. The fuck? If I can't tell, then you're not. And if you go to Africa and they're calling you a foreigner, just know where you are, you know? It's not no shade, but like, black adjacent is a thing. It's adjacent. That means it's next to, right there.
She's speaking on things that even I ain't heard of when I was coming up, and my folks were definitely into the whole, like, black empowerment movement and all. It's like, I've never heard that before. That's brand new to me.
Because it's a whole new concept. I've been thinking about it for years. I'm like, you can be black adjacent. Being black adjacent is not a problem. For example, if you have two mixed parents and then you come out mixed, that's still black adjacent. But you're not fully black. Like, I don't want everybody to keep thinking like, oh yeah, I'm black. Like, you are black adjacent. You are black adjacent.
So when you have like a little melanin chart,
yes,
like
yes, it's a scale.
Like on Family Guy, it's like
yes.
safe, dangerous.
Exactly. It's a scale. It is a spectrum. Just
All
like
right.
they want to talk about sexuality being a spectrum. Okay, well, being any other race
Not
is a
today's
spectrum.
episode.
We're not talking about
No,
that, but
no,
I'm
no.
I'm putting that concept out there so y'all can understand what I'm talking about.
We
It's a
appreciate it,
spectrum.
Bonnie.
The same way our skin tones differ, it's the same. You're adjacent or you're in it. You can be it's just like a target practice, right? You can be next to the target, but you're not in it.
Yeah, your grouping sucks. We call that grouping.
So
All right, moving on.
White mother or a black man with a black mother, or a black woman with a white father, or a black woman with a black father. If one of your parents is an African, we accept you as an African as long as you identify. You have to be
We can
psychologically
accept you,
black, and you also
but
have to
we
be
know
biologically
in the back of our
black.
heads,
You
adjacent.
understand? But we don't take issue with mixed race. Many of the greatest Pan-Africanists
We don't have
who
no
ever lived were mixed race. There's even some argument that the greatest revolutionary of all time in this country, the Prophet Nat Turner, he may have been of mixed race. His mother may have been raped by the slave master. You see, so we don't take issue over that. On the plantation, you had no control how you came into this world. Now, with that
you
being
don't.
said, it's important that black men and black women, even if they be mixed race Africans, they understand that we will not perpetuate that mistake because it does not benefit the black community. So although you may have a white parent, you will only produce children with someone who looks like you.
Be careful drinking that. That's called liquid death now. You should.
It's water.
Look at the can.
It's water.
Yeah, I got put on a liquid death the other day.
I heard about
It's
it.
water.
It's sparkling water, right?
Yeah, but it's.
Is it good?
I didn't try it.
Because I don't want to drink something that's literally called liquid death.
It's
Like-
precisely.
Like, I'm trying to be careful what I put in my body, so that's not the name that I want to be putting on my body. It's a lot.
Yeah. Sorry, folks. Like, this is real time editing. Like, I know I should probably pause it better when we start talking. That way it's not all muddled.
Yeah.
I'll fix it in post. But no, I agree with you. Like, it's called liquid death, even though it's water. Seltzer water? I think that's what it's supposed to be.
It's not it.
I didn't try it.
You didn't try it.
I
Okay.
didn't try it.
Drink.
I think
Malcolm
I heard
had
that
to
before.
get
Yeah,
pumped. They tried to kill Malcolm in the Middle East.
We
Johnny,
ain't trying to kill you. We ain't trying to kill you. We
I know
promise.
y'all not,
Okay.
but I don't know who else around here. Okay? Johnny Cochran was poisoned. And you know Johnny Cochran was murdered because Johnny Cochran was on the verge of finding out, or he was going to determine how much reparations America owes African people. Right after that, Johnny Cochran ends up dead. Patrice Lumumba in the Congo.
I'll say it right now. America owes at least $2 trillion, if not more. $2 trillion, if not more. And if you want to talk about globally, pretty much the entire financial system is owed. So, I don't know. I know that reparations is going to be real hard to get because you have to understand that means that everybody has to give their shit back to us because they all took it from us.
Nah, B.
First democratically elected prime minister of the Congo, they poisoned his daughter in trying to poison him. The CIA through the toothpaste. So we got to be clear that there's a history. Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, a leader of the New Black Panther Party, he may have also been poisoned. So we got to be careful about what we eat and what we drink, especially me.
So what do you think about the study of HR 40? You know what I mean? Because, I mean, that study is
The reparations bill.
Yeah, it's the reparations bill that's supposed to see and determine, you know, who gets reparations and how much reparations.
Tariq Nasheed already said it's supposed to be lineage-based. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing said it's be lineage-based.
It should be.
And I think maybe even Claude Anderson was saying that it should be somewhat lineage-based.
But this is also where I talk about being black adjacent because some of those bloodlines have been whitewashed. You get what I'm saying? So how do you determine then? Because what's to say that, yeah, your ancestors are owed, but now the descendants look like white kids? Exactly. That's why I say black adjacent.
Well, let's take it a step further. The state of California legislature just approved in the past few days
this
a
happened.
bill that will give each African American in the state of California $233,000 as a reparations payment.
I think that's some bullshit. I think Gavin Newsom is just doing that because reparations is going to be the buzzword for 2024 to get black people energized.
We know.
It is, and it's also a trap.
But it's better to
Now,
put
fir-
that seeds.
Pander.
Put those seeds in there, because you know what California does, America follows. We live in California.
Oh yeah, so as California goes, so does the world.
Exactly.
That isn't like, I forget who said it. It's not Rockefeller, but it was someone prolific where they said it like, whatever happens on those coasts controls the nation. Because it's not just California is like the driver, but New York is the backup. Because the stock market's over there.
Exactly.
All the financial exchange networks and shit's on the East Coast. So, but all the tech
and the social stuff,
everything's over here.
that's over here.
Yep.
That's on our side. We
Yep.
control that shit.
Yep.
First of all, the reparations movement comes out of the Pan-Africanist movement. We gave birth to reparations. It's not anything new. That's our thing, although it's for the whole people. A cash payout for reparations is a trap. And the reason a cash payout for reparations is a trap is because so much of what needs to be fixed in American society for African people will take more than cash to do it. In other words, I give DJ Envy $233,000. Or if I take the Bob Johnson plan, he said each American African is due $350,000, right? I give you $350,000. Does that stop mass incarceration?
Nope.
Does that stop miseducation? Does that stop gentrification? Does that stop police genocide? Does that guarantee us access to wealth? I mean, in the state of California, what can you get with $233,000? I'm not even sure if that's enough for a house. And on top of that, the minute they give you the payment, they can reduce the value of the payment through inflation. So I can flood the economy with money so the 233 is only worth 120 in about 24 hours. And then guess what they're going to do after they give the reparations to African people? They're going to find subsidy programs to give to the LGBTQ, to the women, to immigrants, to other people. So at the end of the day, what looked like a step up for black people would be a step back. If I was in charge of the reparations conversation, number one, control of all black music must only be done through the black community. No non-African can control our music. Prince, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Biggie, Tupac. If the publishing, if the marketing, if the promotion, if the recording is not controlled by black people, that has to change. We own our own music. Nobody can own, sell, produce, publish, promote black music but black people.
Why is that so important?
Because music is one of America's leading export industries. America makes more money off black music than almost anything else that she sells. So if we control the music, we have a steady stream of global revenue where we can build a black Wall Street in every single city in America for black people. That's how much money will be coming in from black music. That's one. Two, all black inventions return to us permanently. Everything we invented is a permanent patent for Africans. And if you want to use it, you must pay us a percentage.
The refrigerator, the traffic light, the cell processor, the squirt gun, the ironing board. I think something with heart surgery.
We're gonna put a list up.
Oh, I'm not. Come on, don't do that because
Okay,
it's
never
gonna
mind.
be a long list.
Okay, we won't do that.
You know how extensive that list will be.
we'll
This is
leave a
already
link.
going to be a 2-part video.
We're gonna leave a link to the list of things that black people have invented in the comments.
There's a website called blackinventions.com
we'll
or
leave
Black
a link
Inventors.
for y'all to look.
Yeah, it's
we've
in the
invented
description.
pretty much everything.
Also, you know what you need to do? You need to invent your movement with your mouse onto that like button.
Okay, that part.
Support the content creators.
All right, and if y'all want to leave like a little super chat, thanks. We'd be so grateful.
In time, super
In
chats,
time.
because we have to be live.
Well, no, they have a new feature on
No, I thought you have to be live.
No, I think if you join, I don't know. Maybe our channel has to grow a little bit more before we can get those features. But y'all help us grow, and then we can get there.
By liking, commenting, sharing,
And
subscribing.
supporting.
Not even in that order.
Just do all of those things, though.
I mean, we know you're watching.
Exactly. You made it this far.
Look at them. Just look at them.
Hi, y'all.
We know you're watching. We see it in the metrics. You see what's going on over there. You see what's going on over here. Come on.
Subscribe,
like
y'all.
Go hit that like button.
Leave a comment.
You like ASMR?
Leave a comment in the comments for us to read.
Oh,
Some encouraging thoughts.
Sexy voices.
What are your thoughts on this video so far?
Babe.
Do you guys agree or disagree with Dr. Umar Johnson? Let us know why.
Yeah.
We want to hear your opinions.
Yeah.
Be respectful, though, because we will block.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that either. All right, let's get back to it.
Cell phone, we invented that. Internet, that's ours. Helicopter, that's ours. Self-lubricating engine, the microphone, the stop sign, the walkie-talkie. Why are those lights on right now? Because a black man named Lewis Latimer wrote a textbook that taught China, the UK, Canada, and America how to light up a whole city at night. Without Lewis Latimer, you don't get street lights at night. You don't get constant illumination anywhere in the world. So guess what? Anybody running lights, you paying black people. Take back ownership of our music. Take back ownership of our inventions. Next on the list is all the confiscated lands. We had hundreds of thousands of acres of land stolen from us between 1865 and Malcolm's assassination in 1965. We need to put together a research team that's going to investigate all the land that was stolen from African people and return it back. Since most of our people are dealing with homelessness, we have the highest homelessness rate in Black America since the 60s. If we can get our land back, that will go a long way to getting a lot of our single mothers and their children off the street. In addition to that, America has about 10 major exports: gold, oil, water, electricity. We get a 25% cut permanently. This is perpetual. Every time America makes a dollar, we get 25 cents of that dollar as part of the reparations payment. American Africans, 60% of us make up 10 states. All 10 of the states that represent 60% of us are seaboarding states. We should automatically control the port so we know what's coming in, what's going out, and we also get a percentage of that. But here's my biggest issue with reparations: 3. 1, psychological damages. I'm not hearing enough of the reparations talking heads discuss enough about the psychological damages. You know you can get far more from what you're owed psychologically than you can ever get for 243 years of unpaid labor on the plantation. The psychological damage is what affects us the most. Every time you see a black man with a white woman, that's psychological damage. Every time you see a black woman with a blonde wig on her head, that's psychological damage. Every time you see a little black boy or girl playing with a white doll instead of a black doll, that's psychological damage. When you see a black man take the life of another black man, that's psychological damage. America owes us more for the psychological Holocaust.
Where's it? Did this nigga miss yet?
I mean, everything he said so far has been 1,000% factual.
He hasn't missed yet.
Ain't missed yet.
Ain't missed.
Than she can ever owe for the labor. So we need to talk more about that. In addition to that, I don't hear nobody talking about the role the Arabs played in the transatlantic slave trade. I don't hear anybody
ever talks about that shit.
Who?
The Arabic people. They started the whole slave trade in the first place, and then white people came and kind of co-opted it from them.
What is it? The Byzantine Empire? The Ottomans? Who?
I don't know what empire, but I know it was in the Arabic areas. That's why they are
not the Iberian Peninsula.
They are staunch racist. Like when I talk about, there's still slavery going on till today in those countries. Till today. I cannot tell you how many foreign women who go to those countries and are either killed, beaten, mistreated, their pastors are taken away, they're sold into prostitution, they're sold into human trafficking, organ trafficking. Like, it's crazy out there. Like, it's crazy.
Bonnie, I think this channel's starting to get transformed into a little more informative than it is entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, it's infotainment, I guess you could say.
I've heard that term before.
That's what we are.
Okay. No. I'm not mad. I'm just saying, if we go down that rabbit hole, we can't turn back.
Okay, y'all.
We gotta keep digging for it. We gotta keep digging for it.
We're gonna keep it light, but just do your research, y'all, because I mean, Dr. Umar is probably gonna tell y'all everything, but do your own research.
We're only 18 minutes in.
I know we still got a ways to go.
But this video's already gone on 40.
Y'all, this is gonna be split up into 2 videos.
Yeah, it might even be 3. It might be 3.
Yeah,
it might be a 3-parter. Okay.
So
here's my thing. We're in this now, and we started bringing up like actual factual things that can be checked because we live in the age of the internet, right? My thing is, if, as an editor, am I going to go back and put all this in, or should we let them do their due diligence?
I think they should go and do their due diligence because they're on the same internet where they're watching us.
Just open up another tab, really.
Just Google. It's literally a tab away. Everything that's been referenced can be verified. So, y'all take your time and do your research. We'll leave you some information, but we're not going to do everything for you. You have to, this is where initiative comes in.
Talking about the role that the European Jews played in the slave trade. I don't hear nobody talk about the role that the Catholic Church played in the slave trade. If we're going to talk about reparations, bring every group that was responsible, those who financed the slave ships.
That'd be Nigerians too, though.
Okay, let's talk about that. There was participation from some African kingdoms. We know that Dahomey, for example, which was popularized in the Lion King movie.
The Woman King.
Isn't that the Woman King one?
Yes.
Okay.
The Woman King.
I remember a lot of people said they're not going to go see that shit because of that.
They're actually bordering Ghana. so I kind of am familiar with them.
Woman King movie. There was some African participation, but guess what?
Episode.
The transatlantic slave trade was a European operation. It was controlled. It grew. It was financed by Europeans. When many of the African nations found out what was really being done to us, because in Africa, there was no concept of chattel slavery. There was no such thing as owning people forever. There was no such thing as perpetual ownership of an entire family line or a bloodline. You understand? There was no such thing as being dehumanized. European slavery stripped African people of our humanity. There's no precedent for that in the world before European chattel slavery. They didn't know what they were getting into. They were wrong and can be held accountable. But let's not take the onus off of the true power structure behind slavery, and that was the white man.
I didn't say Portuguese.
Oh, Portuguese was in it. The Dutch was in it. The Italians was in it. The Germans was in it. Who didn't have a hand either in slavery outright? Or
no, but for real though, I really want people, because they always like just confining it to like
white people,
to not even white people, to England but it's like, no, all of Europe participated. The entire continent of Europe was participating in some form or fashion.
The world.
So I don't want people to like, don't just let them slide by, because they were all involved. They were all involved. They're all benefiting now. We see how their countries are doing versus the African ones. That will just give you enough evidence right there. That should let y'all know.
Colonization that came after it. And when you factor in colonization with slavery, you can't possibly blame an African nation for that, because they suffered during colonization as much as we did in slavery. So
Thank you. See, he gets it. He actually gets it.
African people more liable for slavery than the white people who owned, controlled, expanded, and benefited.
Oh, I agree
from
with
it.
that. Yeah, I definitely not.
It's just like how you would blame a woman for getting raped. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Is she the rapist?
Am I being an advocate, or we're just talking?
We're talking like on some real shit. Like, it's the same level. Why are we victim blaming? Yeah, we may have had a role in it, but ain't nobody is expecting those kind of consequences. That's how you can tell.
You shouldn't have came out with that shirt and skirt on.
But it's like, well, you shouldn't put your dick inside somebody that you knew you're not supposed to be doing that to. There's no consent.
I was horny.
See, so it's like, y'all, victim blaming, especially, it's easy to victim blame the victim because they're already disenfranchised. Let's actually place blame on the perpetrators.
Nah. I like my world now. I'm gonna blame you. You shouldn't have came out there with those tits out. Sorry.
And you know that's exactly what they're gonna fucking say. It's the same.
Look at her. She had a thong on. It was calling to me. Y'all know I'm just. Y'all know I'm not being
joking,
serious.
y'all.
You know,
He's
okay.
joking,
I'm just making sure.
He's being sarcastic, y'all. Please don't take it seriously.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay?
More liable. It's just like you said, everybody.
I have to actually clarify these now. You know?
Because the internet will be taking that shit. Just take a little clip and
look what he done. He said it.
Even though, like, the literal next second later you're saying it's, Anyhow.
Nor are they equally liable.
Are equally. Everybody needs to be at the table.
Absolutely. But Africa don't owe us reparations.
No.
They owe us as a people internal reparations, just like we owe ourselves as a people internal reparations. Here's what I want to say. We are entitled to reparations. We will get it. But let us be clear something. Money isn't going to fix many of the problems that we have. Money isn't going to stop the back and forth accusations and tearing down that's going on all over the internet between black men and black women. Money not going to stop that. Money ain't going to make the black man love the white woman anymore. You understand me? Money is not going to remove the self-hatred complex that so many African people have within us. There's so much that is to reparations. We will get it. But let us be clear something. Money isn't going to fix many of the problems that we have. Money isn't going to stop the back and forth accusations and tearing down that's going on all over the internet between black men and black women. Money not going to stop that. Money ain't going to make the black man love the white woman anymore.
That part. Did he mean any less?
He might have misspoke, but he also might be saying exactly what he meant, what he's trying to say. I don't know.
Leave a comment below. It's that timestamp. What's that? 2114. Did he mean money is not going to make the black man love the white woman any less? Because he said any more. I'm saying that's a very unique distinction there.
Yeah, he might have misspoke, but he also might have not. I don't know. I guess we'll find out through the rest of the interviews just for context sake.
Maybe.
You understand me? Money is not going to remove
I
the
caught
self.
that and I was like, but then I was like,
Yeah, even your eye. I said, yeah, your eye went.
because I was like, they already are pretty doing a.
That's part of the argument. The whole black white moving out, swirling, diving. It's like, oh well, they got good credit.
Yeah.
Becky with the good hair and good credit.
Self-hatred complex that so many African people have within us. There's so much that we have to do on our own that money cannot buy. So anybody who thinks that money is going to reverse the psychological Holocaust is insane. It has its place, but it is not a panacea for all of our problems. And I am...
Panacea means cure-all for those who are not going to go look it up and want to know what the word means, because I know... It means a cure-all. That's all it means. Panacea. Okay, it's an old Latin term. All right.
All right.
Of the opinion that if you don't change the...
I know. Because I was for sure not about to look that up. I was just going to let that fly.
Reparations, you change nothing else about African people.
Damn.
Can we please talk about Jerry Jones?
Yes, we can. You recently posted a picture.
Wait.
Can we actually...
Wait, who's Jerry?
Jerry Jones is one of the mean kids because I don't know if I told you this.
You said mean kids?
He was when the Little Rock Nine was first getting integrated into the school, Little Rock High. Jerry Jones was in the crowd. I actually personally know one of the Little Rock Nine.
Oh, do you?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I'm not going to say her name because I don't want y'all to be able to figure out, I'm trying to keep my anonymity and hers as well.
Good on you.
But obviously she's one of the nine. I'll let y'all do your...
Move on.
But, she told me her experiences about being there, being in the school, because she said that the National Guard literally had to protect them when they were going to school because the kids were threatening them. Some of the other adults were threatening them, like literally threatening their lives. And they're just trying to go to school to learn. The National Guard literally had to be their security, even in the bathroom. Because they couldn't trust that these kids were not going to do something to them in the bathroom.
And it makes sense. I mean, you get caught. It's the term, you get caught with your pants down.
Yeah, literally. And they were trying to do it too.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's the level of like. She said that out of all the places, because she when she got older, she wrote books and stuff, and then she tours,
As you would.
And she said that there was one town in particular where she said that was the first and last time she would ever go there because
it was a sundown town.
Not even that was the sundown town. She needed security, and she's like, she doesn't want to go to a place where she needs security because then she knows that that's a high threat level.
Oh well, then it's like you're asking for it at that point.
Yeah, because she had to go everywhere else she goes. She doesn't need security.
Yeah,
she was like, I'm not.
Yeah,
and she literally has not been back since, and I don't blame her.
Rightly so.
Like, if you
why
need
would she
security,
go back to hostile territory and you're not even armed?
Yeah. So I was like, wow. So, anyways, moving along.
What?
Thanks for sharing, though.
Of course.
Make sure you hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. We greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
It does great for the algorithm. It lets us also know how well we're doing. Everyone is graded on a scale of some sort.
If y'all like this video, like this type of content, let us know. We can react to stuff like this. We can react to other stuff. Just let us know. All right? Okay, moving along.
They try to slander our brother over here.
Talk to me.
About what?
Over the summer.
That's the next improvement. I want a microphone stand like that.
Okay.
That's going to be the next move. Sorry, just editor's note for production value because this isn't working right here.
No, but I like those. Those are really nice. I like those type of mics.
Yeah.
I guess there was a video of you. I guess
at the Cherry Hill Mall.
They tried to say you had jungle fever, Dr. Umar.
Jungle fever in the mall.
Okay, let me tell you what happened.
I thought we talked to him about that already.
No,
Somebody tried to hack my phone. An iPhone. It went out. My phone never went out. I call iPhone. They say, okay, we have an appointment for you. I said, I'm in Philadelphia.
Apple, yeah.
Apple. Closest place, Cherry Hill Mall, Apple Store. No problem. I ain't got no phone. I need my phone. I go to Cherry Hill Mall.
That's the whitest apple of all apples.
Yes, sir. So I go to Cherry Hill Mall. They working on my phone. It's taking forever for my appointment to come up. I said, let me.
Nah, bro, they move dog shit slow.
He's talking about the video that he went viral with, where
with
they're like, he's talking to a Snell bunny.
Yeah, she was a thickums, but Nah. No, but about that Apple shit though, they move fucking slow.
I mean,
Remember when I went to go reset the other one?
I do. They have to be thorough. That's what they're just trying to be thorough.
You find something to do. I go get me some suits. Go back, get the phone fixed. I'm on my way out the mall. I'm done. I see a stand in the middle with incense, oils, crystals. I'm into all that. I said, okay, this must be a sister. Let me go over here. I'm looking through the incense. Young white lady come around. She said, can I help you? I said, this your stand? Because I'm like, because this was black people stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm like, she said, yes, my stand. She had a little foreign accent. I said, no problem. So I buy some incense. A brother stops by. Can I take a picture? Sure. I get a rock. Sister come by. Can I take a picture? Some more youth come by. Can I take a picture? The white girl start looking at me like, who are you? Like, why is everybody stopping asking you for a picture? I said, I'm Dr. Umar. I'm a psychologist. She pulls out her phone. She said, well, let me see where you are. I said, go to YouTube, type in Umar Johnson Breakfast Club. That's exactly what I took. That's exactly what I took. Right. So she pulls out her phone and she go to Umar Johnson Breakfast Club. She said, that is you. I said, that's me. Some coons at a nearby restaurant are filming the whole thing. Mm-hmm. But when they post it, they don't post the prelude to the conversation. Mm-hmm. If they would have showed everybody stopping, they would have knew she must have been curious about who he is.
Yeah.
They cut that off, and they just showed me with her phone like I'm giving her my number. Can I get your number, baby? Blah, 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 blah. All I was doing was confirming that that's who I am. Don't you know they went up there and interviewed her?
No.
That girl they interviewed her all week.
The people that recorded you?
Negroes from YouTube ran to the Cherry Hill Mall and got a sat down with the Snow Bunny.
Are you one of Dr. Umar's wives is what they were trying to figure out.
Look, and she told the truth, though, and I appreciated it. She said all he did was shop. I wanted to know who he was. Everybody was stopping to talk to him. He told me to go to YouTube Breakfast Club, and he was just confirmed.
Hey,
that was
Dr.
it.
Umar,
I picked up my bag and walked off. They didn't even show me walk off.
I don't think you realize how funny it is. That's like a Dr. Umar trap. We're going to set up the incense and the rocks, but when he go over there, Snow Bunny.
Yeah. So it was crazy, but I'm glad she was honest because she could have.
Yeah, absolutely.
She could have said he tried to get at me, you know what I mean? So
I think people think you hate white people. You don't hate white people. Yeah.
I have conversations with white folks all the time. Arabs, Chinese, East Indian. I have people who watch my work from all over the world. I was just stopped in the airport by an Asian who works for, what do you call the security? TSA. He came right over to me. I'm taking my shoes off. He said, hey, I'm a big, about 40-year-old Asian man. I'm not sure if he was Chinese or Japanese, but he said, I'm a big fan of your work. Keep on doing what you're doing. Asian. I had a group of white boys run up to me at the airport. I was in Dallas, Texas. Can we take a picture? I took the picture. Why do I do that? People say, why you take pictures when white folks stop you? Because it's important for the world to know that my agenda is not hate. My agenda is African liberation. I'm opposed to white supremacy. I'm not opposed to white people. My priority is my own people, but I have nothing against yours. I'm unapologetically African, but the problem is historically, any black man who is unapologetically African, Malcolm, the Honorable Marcus Garvey, Stokely Carmichael, Huey P. Newton, anybody who was that way, we will automatically brand it as anti-everybody else. That is not true. We are Africans. We are the original humanitarians of the planet Earth.
That's what I was saying earlier. And then you brought up the adjacent thing, and it's all culminating. You see, that's why when you see it culminate, you should hit that like button when you realize it's culminating, and then you can subscribe to it like a prescription, because this will be your daily dose of, well,
information and entertainment.
Infotainment.
Never been against another people, but I'm unapologetically committed to my own.
So you don't hate white people. You just don't.
I don't hate nobody.
You don't want to see black people.
I became a psychologist to help people, and in my work, I do work with all races. But my priority is my own because we need the most help. Charity starts at home, and so therefore, I make no apologies about being for black people. I make no apologies about saying a black man has no business being with another woman, Ime Udoka and T.J. Holmes. I make no apologies about that because.
Right here that they're about to come up. There's a clip. This clip right here is what I saw on Instagram.
Why does that sound familiar?
He's the guy who cheated. He was Nia Long's longtime fiance.
Oh, the girl from Friday.
Yes.
Damn.
And he has a child with her. I think the child is like 10 or something. And he cheated on her, and he's apparently been cheating with multiple staff members, but specifically with one of his boss's wives in the organization, as well as
he went big and went home, huh?
Yeah, and also he also someone who was like organizes like the trips and planning and whatnot too. So like, and he's the head coach of the Bolton Celtics. So like, he's the head coach, like the head coach. That's just like for us, like one of the major coaches out here. I don't know who's a major coach. Like Steve Kerr is a major coach.
I was gonna say, don't ask me. I really don't know.
Okay, like a Steve Kerr, right? Like imagine something like that happening. Like that's not a good look. So, you know, he brought disgrace and shame to his family. When he apologized too, when he sent the apology, Nia Long was the last person on that list too. And I was like, okay. Okay.
We got to save ourselves.
What's your thoughts on that? Since
let's go to Jerry. Let's stop you speeding now. Let's go to Jerry Jones first. And by the way, what Dr. Umar is saying, other communities say that, and nobody has a problem with it.
Nobody says nothing.
Yeah.
Nobody says nothing.
Okay.
Ime Udoka and T.J. Holmes. First of all, what they did was wrong. You had no business having relations with another man's wife if, in fact, those women were married. It's wrong. Husband, white, black, purple is wrong. Adultery is wrong.
It's wrong.
But it's even more wrong.
Says the man who loves cookies. If y'all know Umar, you know he loves him some cookies.
What kind of cookies?
You know them cookies. You know them cookies. Them stripper cookies.
Because you chose to go outside your community and do it, it's even more wrong because you chose to go into the white power structure and do it. They were not chastised because they committed adultery. Celebrities do it all the time. They were not chastised for that.
True.
They were chastised because they failed to keep in mind that black men get the white women that other white men genuinely do not want. You don't get the top of the line white women. You don't. You get leftovers. Look at most of our celebrities. They did not marry women who came from the richest white families. Black money and white money don't behave the same. New black money and old white money have two totally different personalities. New black money will jump on any poor white girl and make her a billionaire, Tiger Woods. Rich white woman, rich white money.
Mate is shooting volleys, ain't he?
Dude, he is aiming and not missing. Not missing. Damn. Let's continue.
How's my gun go? Brr, 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 brr.
He doesn't operate that way, you see. The sin of Ime Udoka and the sin of T.J. Holmes is you had an affair with a white man's wife. This is a desirable white woman. Somebody loves her and is married to her, and you had the audacity to take her away from her husband being a Negro. That's why they had to be sat down. And if I could speak with Ime Udoka, I would have to ask him. On top of all that, you chose a woman from the Mormon church.
What's
Her
that mean?
family is Mormon.
They don't like
The Mormons historically
like
one of the
black
most
people. They don't like
racist
the church they'll say.
denominations.
Look, he's gonna get into it. But I'm gonna tell you right now. Mormons believe that black people are cursed, and then they wear special underwear, and they get a planet when they die. This is real. Joseph Smith wrote all about it in his book.
That guy was on one.
He has some heavy shrooms.
Shade.
Look, we're
Shade.
not. You
Shade. All shade. All shade.
like the other episode where I want to smoke. She's asked for smoke on this one. Let me get this off. Let me get it off. Let me get it off. What I'm saying is, I think most dogmas are kind of bullshit. The only things that they all have in common is historical events that a lot of people couldn't corroborate. But when it comes to that Joseph Smith shit, nigga, ain't nobody seen them aliens. Black folks are not cursed. You came from black people. White people went to the Caucasus Mountains. They're black people that just lost their melanin and had their pineal glands calcified. Read the Caveman Inheritance. It explains it. You are glitching hard over there. I don't know why.
I don't know what's going on. I think it's post-op is going to be.
It's going to be a bit of a work. It's going to be some work.
Ooh, see that?
I might have to use the big gun for this one to fix it. But my point is, I'm going to let her go because I just want to get off my chest. Like, yeah, Mormons are like extremely against black people or dark-skinned humans. And I'll end it with this. Not too long ago, up here where we're at, some Mormons came by, stopped me in a car, asked me some questions. I was playing Pokemon Go, as you would, not giving a shit. My friends on Discord heard it. They're like, were they trying to convert you to Mormons? I was like, yeah, but I don't think they realized I was black. They don't. What? You can have it. That's how I'm in that story. Just let that marinate. You're up.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm good. We can keep going.
of the Christian religion. Did you know they did not ordain black ministers until 1978? Their most famous.
Tell you what, so we don't lose progress here, let's go ahead and end this as part 1, and we're going to move on to part 2 of this Dr. Umar interview on the Breakfast Club. This is Agent Clyde.
And Black Bonnie Bay, we're signing out for now.
For now.
We will continue. We'll pick right back up where we started.
Just got to make sure everything stays, otherwise this was a wasted effort.
And I'm
glitching hard.
I'm glitching, so we're gonna.
The Matrix is fucking with her.
Hopefully, I know, because I've been speaking real. I've been spitting facts.
They don't
they're trying
like
to reveal
you.
They're trying to reveal my identity, but bitch, you will not.
No, we have ways to fix that.
You will not.
You see now
you will not.
You're testing
you will
it.
not.
You're testing it.
You will not reveal my identity.
Remember, like, comment, subscribe. We're out.
Bye.